What's up, y'all? It's your boy Wack, man. Decided to drop in a little bit and drop you a little story about uh, one of the instances where the police they set shit up, and they can't say they don't. You know what I mean? Everybody knows it, and it is what it is. And being in the situation that I was in, you know what I mean? Not only having to worry about the woods, other brothers, you know what I mean? The Southsiders. Now I got to worry about the police too. So for us to be labeled the most hated motherfuckers on any institution we went into, dudes like me and Snow Rock, it is true. You know what I mean? And honestly, I think that's a lot of where my PTSD and anxiety comes from to this day. Uh, I don't know, if you can imagine being uh, a target. You literally got the whole world against you, you know, uh, and it's been spoken on. It's a sad but true fact that uh, there's been instances where our own homies didn't ride. So uh, you're literally playing with your life, and that's one of the biggest messages I want to give out uh, from this channel to these youngsters is that you know, you literally are playing, you're rolling the dice. Uh, and everybody knows that when you shoot dice, snake eyes is lurking. I mean, you will crap out. And hopefully that doesn't end with your life being took. Um, so, uh, my first instance in the county jail got roughed up by the police. They call it elevator treatment down there in South Bay. Uh, I got smart with one of the COs, with one of the deputies, and they, got everybody off the elevator and kept me on the elevator, and 3 or 4 more deputies got on there, and they did their thing. Uh, wasn't that big of a deal, you know what I mean? And so I kind of knew, you know what I mean? And the homies used to tell me, like, you get to the pen, homie, and you get to one of them 4 yards, uh, where, you know, we don't talk shit to the police, bro. If you're gonna talk shit to the police, you gotta get off on the police. Because talking shit to the police in the pen, all it's gonna do is bring heat on the car, heat on your cell, you know, tear your cell up. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, you know what I mean? You got something up in there to protect yourself. Then, so when they go tear up your cell, they find that now you got a new charge, DA referral. You're going to go sit down for a shoe program. You know what I mean? You and your cellie. So I learned early that you don't talk shit to the police unless you're going to do something about it. Anyways, I get to Donovan. Police set me up with the 6 NLRs. They rushed me in the rotunda. You know, it was a known fact that the police set that up. Tehachapi, the same thing. And then they did it twice in Tehachapi, actually. Once when they sent me out to the shoe yard, put me out there with the whites. That was automatic. You know what I mean? The yard was going down. And then also when they, you know, uh, when me and my celly went out for showers, and then they let the NLRs come back in off the yard. Um, so the police knew what time it was, man, and they had their hands. The sad thing about it is the police like to play politics too. You got some police that think that they're convicts too, or they're inmates, and so they need to participate in inmate games, which is a sad thing, you know what I mean? Because you're free, homie. You're going home after this little shift is over with. You're going home to your family, but yet you want to play these Neanderthal games. It's just the way it is. So, anyways, uh, I'm in Lancaster, and we do our thing in Lancaster. Lancaster was sweet, man. As I said before, Lancaster was probably the funnest I've ever had in prison. We had it our way, man. You know what I mean? And a lot of that had to do with Snow Rock. You know what I mean? Snow Rock had just left when I got there. And Snow Rock had been there for like 4 or 5 years and went through hell, you know what I mean? And made it to where, you know what I mean? I think the woods were just like, you know what? We can't get rid of these motherfuckers. We get rid of one leaves and another one comes. So they kind of, you know, threw their hands up and was like, fuck it. Well, anyways, I'm there in Lancaster. Some shit happens. A couple of the homies out of LA took off on the police, stabbed the police up. And so they wanted to remove all the Crips off the facility, off D yard and B yard. Because at that time, A yard was the honor program, B yard was GP, C yard was PC, and D yard was GP as well, the SAT program and all that. And so they got all of us off the yard. I told the story about when the police broke my hands, and I didn't want to, I didn't want to make a case about it, so I just let it go. But one day I'm going up to medical. I got real bad asthma, so I went up to medical and shit. Now keep in mind, I'm in AINT, so everywhere I go, I'm shackled. I'm in handcuffs. And then when you leave AINT, you're in shackles. Well, they put me in. Usually they'll throw you in a cage. Well, they didn't. The cop left me shackled with my wrist shackled to my waist with a waist chain on, and he put me in a tank. Now in this little tank, there was nobody up in there. But as I'm sitting there waiting on to get seen or whatever, I see him bringing in two skinheads come up in there, and I'm like, oh shit, are they gonna bring them up in this motherfucking in this cell? And I'm thinking like, damn, it's gonna get ugly for me. And sure enough, they bring them up in there. Now they ain't got they ain't got no motherfucking they ain't got shackles or nothing on. And they got their blues on, so they GP. And they bring them up in there and shit. The police don't even look at me. He bring them up in there and close the door. Lock the door, bam. Now I'm standing over there by the pisser, trying to get my back up against the wall, because I know if they coming, you know what I mean, I can't do nothing. You know what I mean? My hands are literally shackled. And so probably the longest 2 minutes, these dudes are talking. And the longest 2 minutes, man, of my life. I'm sitting there, I'm probably sweating and shit like, damn. And finally the one dude turned like, what's up, Holmes? I was like, what's cracking? He's like, where you from? I'm like, I'm from San Diego, Crips. And he was like, oh yeah? And the one dude just bolted at me. And they on me, they tackled me to the ground. You know what I mean? And they on me. Now, in my mind, I'm just hoping and praying they ain't got no weapon. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take an ass whooping. You know what I mean? Hopefully the COs will hear it and stop them before they beat me to death. But, you know, my main thing was I hope they ain't got no weapon. Because if they had a weapon, I'd be dead. And anyways, so they own me. I can't even, you know what I mean? There's nothing I can do. I can't cover my head. I can't, you know what I mean? All I'm trying to do is stay close to the bench to where my head is up under the bench against the wall of where the pisser is. And they own me, you know what I mean? On Bush Street. He's pulling me back out. And they getting some shots in on my head, you know what I mean? And in my face and shit. And finally I hear the door, get down, get down, get down. And they, you know, they come in there and spray and shit, pull us up out of there. You know what I mean? I had to get like 8 stitches in the back of my head. Got some stitches on my face. You know, they fucked me up, man. You know what I mean? And so I'm sitting there, or laying there rather, in another part of the thing. And I'm fucked up, you know what I mean? Like, man, like, this shit is, you know what I mean? You gotta be kidding me, man. And I remember I seen the homies from LA 40, like, what's up, cuz? I could barely talk, nigga. My ribs hurt so fucking bad, you know? And I told him what happened. He like, man, fuck that. He like, I'm finna get at the homies. And I'm like, alright. And the associate warden come and see me. He was like, man, look, I know you think that we do this shit on purpose and, you know, this, that, and the other. I'm aware of, you know, what happened. I said, man, I ain't got nothing to say. I don't even want to talk about it, man. Just hurry up and send me back to ASAG. And dude tried to, like, you know what I mean, bring me a couple extra trays. They were bringing me, like, trying to bring me extra trays when I got back to ASAG. You know, trying to cover their motherfucking ass, you know. And then it was a trip because the CO that had brought me that day, I never recognized him. And then come to find out that CO was the brother-in-law of the dude that I got into it with that broke my hands. You know what I mean? And so, and dude was a straight skinhead, bro. You know what I mean? He was a CO, but he was a skinhead. You know what I mean? And so, that just reinforced to me, like, man, these motherfuckers is trying to kill me, man. You know, and I remember I wrote home to my pops. It was like, you know, I didn't even know if the letter was going to be able to get out, right? Thinking they screening my mail and shit. So I shot it to the homie, fished it down to the homie and had him send it out. And then, you know, I guess my dad called up there, got an attorney to call up there. And that's when I hurried up and got endorsed. But out of all places, they want to send me to High Desert. The High Desert, everybody knows, that's the White House, man. That's the capital of the woods. And so I just knew these motherfuckers had it out for me. You know what I mean? Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, man. You know, and only by the grace of God did I get up out of there. You know what I mean? If them woods would have had a motherfucking piece on them, I'd have been through. You know what I mean? And so, when I finally decided to do a 602, like 6 months before I get to the house, and subpoena all the movement records of that day, them 2 dudes didn't have a docket to go up there to medical. They had no record of their movement. That just shows you how deep the shit goes, man. You know what I mean? And I say that to say, man, just to tell these kids, it ain't pretty, man. You know what I mean? I don't care how much of a gangster you are, but in a situation like that, what are you gonna do? You can't even protect yourself. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I was thinking about that earlier, man, when I was on my live, so I decided to drop that. But hey man, thanks for checking in. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. Everybody, you know what I mean? Be humble, man. You know what I mean? Holiday season. If you can help somebody that's doing worse than you're doing, you know what I mean? Help them out. You know what I mean? We all can't, we can't change the world, but we can all put in to maybe make a slight change for the better. With that being said, man, much love and respect. Blessings to everybody. I'm gone, y'all.